Hey everybody, we are teaching Vermillion. Let's look at paint thinner. There's a bucket of it on our easel, so let's see if we can show you exactly what it's for and how it's used. Now, some people, when they hear paint thinner, they think of turpentine or solvent, brush cleaner. That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about brush cleaner. We're talking about paint thinner. Cleaning your brush, you can use the cleaning rag or bang it on the side of the easel or press your A key and that will clean your brush. Don't stick it in the paint thinner. That is there to thin your paint. What the heck is he talking about? Okay, so oil painting. We've seen how paints interact on the page. And when we paint on canvas, it's going to be a nice, rich, solid color that tends to either mix with or overpaint colors that are there. So if I want to take my nice, vibrant red, but I want to make it transparent, translucent, I want to paint it and see through it. I want to make my paint thin. So really, paint thinner, think of it like clear oil paint or oil medium without any pigment. If I add more medium to my red paint, it will become transparent, translucent. I can see through it because the pigment gets spread out over a larger area. This sort of makes sense, so what I'm going to do now is switch to the headset view so we can get a close-up look and demonstration on how paint thinner affects your paints. Please bear in mind, my demonstration will give you a general idea, but you will want to spend some time painting with it, really see how it feels and how it affects your painting. So brace yourself, we're going to switch to headset mode and dive into the canvas with paint thinner. So here we are in headset view. I've set up the canvas so the yellow layer is on the background and I can paint over it like it was dry. The green layer is on the top layer, so when I paint, I'm going to interact directly with the green normal paint. So let's grab some lovely vibrant red, and if I just paint normally, it's a nice strong solid opaque red. If I take that same paint and paint over existing paint, it immediately blends. They immediately work together. You can see how it almost overpowers the red as we paint along. If I do it quick and light, it still blends a little bit. If I paint over the background layer, nice and solid, completely overpaints it. You cannot see through it at all. Solid, normal paint. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some paint, regular paint, and I'm going to get some paint thinner. When I add it to this paint, you can see through it. Look at that. Now when I paint on the canvas, it's a lot more transparent. It's almost like watercolor or a wash. Now if I paint over existing paint, the part that blends get that same transparency. You can see how the green very quickly overwhelms the red because the green is not thin at that point. If I take some of my thin paint and paint over the yellow, now we can see through it fairly clearly. This would be great for doing things like a rainbow. Let's get a little yellow thin, even thinner yellow. And then we'll get a little blue and make it thin and overpaint. So now we can start doing this overpaint transparency with thin oil paint. The painting tray is another good place to experiment, where I can get some color, thin this one, thin it some more. So now this paint, as opposed to this paint, I can control the transparency. Bear in mind, if I mix with existing paint, you can see how the transparency maintains. If I overpaint other layers, it's additive. So paint thinner thins your existing paint. Not brush cleaner, paint thinner. You're going to need to paint yourself to see how this works. But let's jump back to the headset view to finish off. So paint thinner is not solvent, not turpentine, but it's there to control the transparency of the oil paint itself. You could paint on the palette with oil paint. I could even grab the paint thinner and paint directly onto the painting itself. It's not necessarily just for mixing, but it could be a useful tool for blending and shading as well. So think of it as a clear oil paint, not a brush cleaner. I hope this makes sense. Let me know how this works for you. Show me some of your examples, link to it, or ask questions in the comments below. We have a lot of fun with this stuff, so if there's anything else you need to learn about, let us know. We do a whole series here at youtube.com/shamelessmayhem. Thanks for everybody, and now we're going to thin out. Ooh.